Mr. Weber, when you received the official vote from the EPP, you announced that you want to change Europe. So what should we expect from Mr. Weber in case your candidacy succeeds in the Euro elections?
The most important thing for Europe is to keep it together, because we have too much splits between East and West, between North and South, small and big countries in the European Union. We all are Europeans. That is my main message. Everybody should be treated equally, so we are all Europeans. And the second thing is to be ambitious for the future. Together we can achieve a lot on global level, and that is what we have to do.
Well, it looks like the European Union is slowly, even though there are difficulties, moving towards becoming a very big powerhouse, given the situation in both the West and the East with Russia and the United States. So should we expect a stronger European Union?
We need a strong European Union, especially from a Cyprus point of view. It's obvious. You are close to Syria, for example, where we see the civil war there going on. We see Russia active there, bombing people there. We see the developments in Turkey, which are very worrisome for the future, away from democracy, destroying the idea of rule of law, of independence of the judge system and so on. That is what we experience, and that's why we as Europeans, we must be proud about what we believe in, about our European way of life, and we have to stay together to defend them for the future. That is the main aspect for the upcoming years. And when we speak about Cyprus having the occupation by the Turkish forces in mind, for me it's clear that the Cyprus problems are the European problems. So in this regard, we all are Cypriots. We all have to stay together to defend also the Cypriots' interests towards Turkey.
So you have given me a very excellent pass for my next question, which would have been, what is your position on Cyprus and the Cyprus problem, taking in mind that you are a very good friend of Cyprus. But let me also add the working group that Mr. Jean-Claude Juncker has set up as EU Commissioner. So could we expect something different from you in terms of the working group, or would we expect to take it forward?
My main line is to support the president of Cyprus. President Anastasiadis is a key personality who has a mandate from his people to negotiate on the question of Turkey, and his ideas should be the ideas of the European Union. We should stick together. And on the Turkish question, having the developments of the last month and years in mind, where Turkey went in the wrong direction, away from our convictions about our fundamental values, we have to be clear in the relationships. I don't think that an enlargement process will work. So I think we have to stop the enlargement process from Turkey towards the European Union, because Turkey cannot become member of the European Union. We should be frank and honest to each other. We should find a way to establish good relationships, good talks to each other, to individually talk about subjects like cultural exchange, economic growth in the future and all the other things. But a full enlargement will not work.
And so you think that this would be more of a relation similar to that with Norway, for example?
I think we have to define very clearly what is acceptable for us and what is not acceptable for us. And Turkey crossed a lot of red lines during the last years, especially about freedom of press, about the question of how do they practice their internal domestic policy. They crossed so many red lines. That's why we have to be honest to each other. That is what I'm asking for. We need them. They are neighbors. We have to work together, no doubt about this, but not as a full member of the European Union.
As a last question, we have seen that there is a move away from Euroscepticism and into a line of thinking that is completely against the European Union. How do we deal with that?
We will fight against anti-Europeans if we focus on what is happening today in Great Britain. They tried it. They made the test what happens if you leave the European Union. And everybody can obviously see that Great Britain is in economic turbulences, so they have economically a lot of problems, a lot of, let me say, damage created already. And politically, they are in a chaotic situation in London. And that's why everybody can see on the British case. We regret the outcome in Great Britain, no doubt about this. But you can see there what happens if you take the membership in the European Union into question. It's risky, and that's why it's better to reform Europe, where we need a reform, than to leave or even destroy the European Union. Only together we are strong enough to defend our European way of life.